G'day everyone, this evening I've just popped down the river in my kayak to see if I can catch myself a late summer Murray cod.
Hey you!
You're watching Robbie Fishing. Right, now I've got about 2 hours of daylight left to see if I can catch a Murray cod. I'm going to start off with a diving lure, this one, an old mate in that colour which I think is called Barty Grub colour. And then when the sun sets I'm going to go to a surface lure. I don't have a huge amount of water to fish here, but I have got 2 really nice holes, and I'm just going to focus all my time on these 2 particular pools, just really peppering the banks. I'm about to drift down through those rapids down there. Usually I can't because it's too shallow, but being a wet summer and all, I'm going to be just fine. But I am regretting one thing, not bringing any sandals or any kind of footwear, because those rocks are going to be murder later on when I go to drag my kayak back up. Got him! Yes, he's wrapped me around a snag, but I'm on. He's still on. He's around the back of that tree there. It's only a little fish. It is a trout cod. Now I need to position myself out of the current to land this fish, because otherwise I'll end up washed down there. I'll hit one of those branches and I'll probably capsize. Now I've got my fish grips at the ready. I'll try and do this all pretty quickly in the interest of safety and me not getting tipped out. Oh, don't have to worry about it, he just got off. That was a beautiful little trout cod of around, I'm guessing 45 centimetres. I'm on the board. Well, I'm kind of on the board. I'm not upset that he got off. It's just a bit tricky in this current here to be dangling fishing rods and lip grips and paddles and steering the kayak. He done me a favour by getting himself off. You ripper. Right, now as I approach these rapids I've got to be very careful. When you're doing this sort of fishing, or even if you're just paddling and not fishing, a sit-on top kayak is a lot more unstable than a sit-in or an enclosed hull kayak, because the centre of gravity is a lot higher. In a sit-in kayak, they will hit these sort of logs and then just slide off left or right, and you're generally pretty safe. But with a sit on top, one of these, they'll hit it, then you'll just tip straight over. So you've just got to be really careful. But don't worry, there are plenty of positives to having a sit on top kayak. The main one being that they're much easier to get on and off. You can see that log there, that's a definite obstacle. Marvellous. Rightio, old mate. This is the second of the 2 pools. I'm going to drift through here and just work this steep bank all the way along. Just hooking that one and getting it up beside the kayak, that's enough to tell me that I'm in with a real chance of getting one off the top tonight. Got him! Yes, fish number 2. A bit bigger this one. Might be a Murray this one, I think. I might be about the same size. It's a Murray, it's a bit smaller actually. Got a bit more time here because I'm out in the open. Fish number 2 on the old mate. I don't have to worry so much about getting washed into obstacles. Come on, buddy. There we go, folks. Lovely little Murray cod, probably 40 to 45 centimetres on the old mate lure. Bloody ripper. I'll get him unhooked and get him back. Now I'll pick up where I left off. That fish came from over under that tree there. We're just upstream a little bit. Now I'm stoked. The cod fishing can be very hit and miss this time of year. This time next week it will be March. It's currently the last week of summer. And I've had a couple of fishless cod fishing trips lately. Brett and I went bait fishing the other night and never had a bite between us. And I've been out flicking lures to no avail. So it's hit and miss. I've had a couple of misses and tonight I'm having a hit. I've caught two. And I'm hoping to catch more. But even if I don't, I'll be going home happy because I've caught 2 cod in the last week of summer. And I'm pretty happy with that. Got him, number 3. Oh, he got off. He got off. He was actually a bit smaller. I put him in around about 35 to 40 centimetres. Wow, they're on like bloody Donkey Kong tonight. Right, now because the water's quite high and I'm drifting so quickly, I didn't make a quarter of as many casts as I would have liked to through there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to troll back through and I've switched to the little one well lunch. The reason being, I trolled with it in my review video when I reviewed these things. And because it's got such a tight sway, it doesn't pull the kayak to one side. A lot of these cod lures pull so hard that you've got to paddle left, 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 right, left, left. But with this, you can just paddle along normally, nice and slowly. So I'll troll back up with that. And then I guess I'll probably put that same old mate back on to drift back through and keep flicking again. Yeah, so look at that. That's tracking nice and straight behind the kayak. It's diving down. But most importantly, it's not pulling the kayak around to the left. Not touching the bottom either. I might let a bit more line out. Give it an extra couple of feet. Still let it get down a bit deeper. Right folks, I trolled all the way up through there. I didn't do any good. Very impressed with the way that one well lunch trolls behind the kayak. I have decided to make a change. I sort of figured even though that lure's working, maybe they might want to see it twice. So I've gone to Mr. Orange, an orange predator. I'm just going to turn my kayak around because the current's messing with me a bit. I'm going to drift back through, that's a bit light of a cast. I'm going to drift back through the same run that I just fished, this time with an orange predator, Mr. Orange. Got him, right next to the kayak. Wow, that was a bloody decent strike. Mr. Orange has got the fish of the day so far. This is the same spot where I lost that last one, but this is 3 times the size. Right, jeez. Just under the kayak and he went bang. Lovely Murray cod. I haven't given you an estimate on the size yet because I haven't got a good look at him. Oh yes, look at that. He's in the low 50s. I'd say 50 to 53 centimetres. I'll get him unhooked and get him back in the water. Mr. Orange has struck. You beauty. bloody ripper. Jeez, he hit that hard, that fish. There was no tapping, just bang. Almost pulled the rod out of my hand. Just I love it when Murray cod are on. When they're on the bite, when they're switched on like this, it's just such an exciting form of fishing. It's like every cast you think, now. What about now as it goes past that log? What about in front of this next log? It's like you hold on tight with anticipation. You want to know something pretty funky? Now you may or may not believe this, but I had no plans at all on coming cod fishing this evening. I had a very busy day. I've been up since 6:30 this morning, and I had to go to Albury this afternoon. I went up to Albury to buy a camera component, and on the way home I thought I wouldn't mind going fishing. I was heading down the Hume Freeway. It was already 6 o'clock, 6 p.m, and a voice inside my head said, grab your kayak, go out the river. I don't know why. Hadn't thought about it at all today. Right, now the same dealio as before. I've just drifted through, and now I'm going to troll back through. So I'll switch back to a one-well lunch again, because it's a better trolling lure, especially against strong current like this. But I've changed to the bright orange, just because I just got a cod on the bright orange, so they will hit bright orange. And then I'll drift back through again for a third time, but with a surface lure. Once I finish trolling up there, I'm going surface. Righto, it is, as Mr. Brett Corker himself would say, poppy time. And I'm going to a 70mm Coolabung cod walker. If I had to list my all-time #1 surface lure for Murray cod, it would probably be this one. I've caught a lot of fish on it, and it seems to just have a better hookup rate than most other surface lures for some reason. Oh, there's a buff. My first buff. It's only very small. Just got to be careful because I'm heading towards these trees here at a pretty fast rate. I just had my first buff. It was only a very small fish though. It's just in there. Got him! Off the surface. The sun is just gone. I think it's just left the treetops. Now I've just got to position the kayak upstream a bit to get away from these trees behind me. I'll try and get over here close to the bank. Sorry mate, I just got to drag you along a little bit. Your welfare is important, but so is mine, and I don't want to go over those trees while I'm floating backwards. Only a really small little Murray cod. Wouldn't even be 40 centimetres, this one. Come on, buddy. All right. Well folks, there you go, a lovely little Murray cod. All of around, I'm guessing not quite 40 centimetres. See you later mate. On the Coolabung cod walker. Let's talk about second-hand water, or third-hand water. I have just drifted this one stretch of water 3 times, and I've caught fish with every single drift. I've caught fish each time. How good's that? The old Murray cod, when they switch off, they go dead, but when they're on, and it's so exciting. Oh, that was a nice size bluff. I was actually looking out here at the current, thinking don't let the nose of the kayak get into that current because that'll spin me round and I'll end up in trouble. Then just randomly out in the middle of nowhere. Come on, come back. That was a nice bluff, that one. That was much bigger than the last fish. There's no way I can paddle up them rapids. So I've paddled as far as I could there, then just dragged my kayak through the shallows here. Then I can get back in and fish my surface popper in this other hole. What an exciting cod fishing session this has been. Yeah, there's a spider on me. Oh, look at him go. I felt a spider walking on my legs. I flicked it in the water and went straight across to the edge really quick. He's probably running away from me as quickly as I could run away from him. Here, rather than going up and drifting through, because there's so many more obstacles in this pool, I'm just going to make my way up close to the edge out of the current where I can and just cast where I can, essentially. Oh, something hit that thing before I even turned the reel. As soon as it hit the water, something hit it. I reckon he'll come back. The lure hit the water. I grabbed the paddle to stable myself up and a fish hit the lure while I was just sitting there. Gee whiz, they're on. Now, bang. Yep, got him. He came back.
Yep, got him. He came back.
He did come back. He's not a big fish, but wow. He is a Murray cod. Another Murray or trouty? It's a trout cod. If he sits still, I'll be able to tell you. It's a little trout cod. Right, I've picked him up without the fish grips. It's only small, I'm able to get the hook out. Yeah. There you go, folks. Lovely little trout cod off the surface. See you later, mate. Oh, this is so awesome. Saved the best till last. This is probably the best cod session I've had all season. They're just going bonkers. Well, folks, that's it for me. I'm pulling up stumps. What a fantastic session I have had. I've lost count. I've caught 4 or 5 or something, and a few other strikes, a few other buffs, all on an evening where I wasn't even going to be going fishing. Late summer Murray cod fishing, one of the best sessions I can remember having for this time of the year. The fish weren't big, but there were so many. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, why not give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.